Hello.
Sir, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Sudarshan sir told you will take in the second hour. So I'll continue the first hour class. Students, yesterday where we stopped? Yesterday we discussed about the list,
List,
isn't it?
sir.
Yeah, list methods. Okay. So which are the list methods we discussed yesterday?
Append.
Append method, then extend
Extend.
method, sort method, reverse, count, and clear. Okay. Students, now I'll do one thing. Uh, I'll call the student name. You have to explain, okay, what it is. You have to explain that method. Okay, we'll do the revision of what we have studied. Say why? Because see these methods, what you are learning, these are the methods which you can apply with any sequential data structure. Okay, you can apply it with arrays, you can apply it with strings, you can apply it with list, you can also apply it with tuples and dictionaries. So therefore, these methods are very important in Python. And if you look at your whole syllabus, so they have concentrated only on the basics. So the very reason is that, see now the Python has become very much robust. There are so many modules available. Say for example, there are modules available for general purpose programming, wherein we use modules like math, random, and so on. And also there are very specific modules available for image processing, data analytics, machine learning, IoT, and so on. So therefore, if you also whenever you want to deal with any particular module, there is a inbuilt library support available. That means there are various inbuilt functions available, isn't it? So that means the user need not write a lot of user defined code. So a lot of the functionality is already available. So only the thing is that he has to be very good with the basics and the data structures, especially tuples, dictionaries, lists, um, and all these things. So that's why your entire syllabus is concentrated more upon the data structures. So in that sense, these methods are very much important for you. And another concept, that is regular expressions. So students, have I explained regular expressions for you? Whether we wrote any regular expressions in Python class?
No, sir.
If you're not yet right, yeah, because I got confused. Recently, I was teaching regular expressions. I thought for your section, so that is for engineering students. Sorry, I thought even I finished regular expressions for you also. Okay, students. Now I'll call Asta Bachawat. Asta, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me what the append function will do.
Sir, append function will take the input in the file like for writing purpose in the list.
In the list, whether we can insert multiple elements by using append. Say I have two elements. Already I have a list, 10, 20, and 30. Let us assume. Now I want to insert 40 and 50. What should I do? Can I insert at once?
So we can append by giving that index position.
Index position. No, we don't
Or,
use index
up,
position with
or,
append.
or append function will enter the element in the at the last of the list.
Yeah, that is fine. So you told we have to use the index. We don't use index with append.
Yes, sorry.
Instead, we directly specify the value what you want to append. Okay. So my another question is whether we can insert multiple elements at a time using append. Amrish?
No, sir. Only single element can be
Only
inserted.
single element. Okay, now what is the solution for me if I want to insert multiple elements?
So we can use extend.
Yes. So to overcome the limitations of append, we can use extend always. See, append will add one element at the end of the list, whereas extend will add multiple elements. Okay, so that means you can add multiple elements at once, or what you can do, you can create two separate lists and you can combine them. Okay, say for example, I have two lists, list 1 and list 2. I want list 2 to append at the end of the list 1, then list 1 dot extend of list 2. That's it. It's that simple. Okay, it will look like concatenation of two lists after appending by using, after adding both the lists by using extend method. Extend is used to add more than one element at a time. Then sort function. So Arbaz Khan, are you there? Arbaz Khan? Arbaz Khan?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me how the sort function will work. You tell me by default whether it will sort in ascending order or decreasing or descending order. Hello? This is the simplest question for you, Arbaz. Tell me in what order it will sort by default.
Yes, hello, sir.
Huh?
Descending order, sir.
Not in descending order, man. It will sort in ascending order. Nilanjan Biswas. Hello? Nilanjan? Nishant? Nishant?
Yes, sir.
Tell me how to sort in descending order. Now I want to sort the elements of an array or a list. How to do that?
Sir, if I greater than J.
Not like that. I want to use the inbuilt method sort. Sort of reverse is equal to true.
Yes.
We need to set the attribute reverse. Reverse is an attribute. We need to set its value is equal to true, so that by default it used to sort in ascending order. Not to reverse that action, we use reverse is equal to true, so that it will sort in descending order. Say we can have two types of values within a list or an array. So either integer based values or text or string values. When it is sorting the string values, it will sort in alphabetical order. When it is sorting the numbers, it will sort in increasing order by default. Okay, so descending means reverse of that. Biggest first, then the smallest, like that. Then we also have a method called as reverse. Array name dot reverse or the list name dot reverse without any parameters. It doesn't accept any parameters, so it will reverse the given list or array or a string, whatever it is. Then Rajeshwari. Hello. Hello, Rajeshwari is there? Rajeshwari. Vaishnavi. Vaishnavi, are you there? Hello. Hello, Vaishnavi. Vinny. Vinny, are you there? Hello. Srinidhi.
Sir, hello.
Yeah, who is this?
Vaishnavi, sir.
Vaishnavi, tell me how the count method will work. What is the purpose of using count method? See, count method. Okay, I'll ask another student. Let us try. Vinny, are you there? Nishant? Nishant? Kavya?
It returns the number of values, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, who is this?
Kavya, sir.
Vaishnavi, sir.
Okay, yeah, okay. Anyone, Kavya, either Kavya or Vaishnavi, tell me how the count method will work.
Sir, it returns an integer that the number of times, sir, in substring.
Yeah, not substring. It need not be not like that. See, the data structure can be a string, array, list, or anything. So that you can apply count method always. So count method accepts one parameter, that is one element within the list or an array or whatever the data structure that you are using. If you specify the value, it will check in the list or an array how many times that is occurring in that list or an array. Say for example, you have one value 10. If the 10 is occurring 2 times in the list, then it will return 2. That is, it will return number of times the item is occurring in that list or an array. So count is meant for displaying the number of occurrences of a particular item. What is clear, Kavya?
Yes, sir.
What is clear method?
It removes all the items, sir.
Yes. But what about the list? Whether the list will be there or not? Whether it will delete the list also?
Yes, sir. List will be there, sir. It will
List will be
return.
there. Yes. That means without deleting the entire list, it will delete only the elements, but not the list. So list will be there, its structure will be there, but it will be empty. It is just like having an empty list. So if you apply clear method for any array or a list or any data structure, it will preserve the empty list and it will delete all the items. So yesterday, that's why I gave the example of drop command and truncate command in DBMS. So when we apply drop to the table, drop table name, it will completely delete the entire table along with its structure. But when you apply truncate, instead of deleting the whole table, it will just delete the items within the table and it will preserve the structure, table structure, and table will be there and it will be empty. Okay. So similarly, here also the clear method will work. Next is insert method. Who will answer for insert method? Srinivas? Srinivas. Hello? Srinivas is not there?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Tell me, Srinivas, tell me when we can use insert method.
So if we need to insert an element at a particular location or an index,
Yeah,
we use the insert method.
yes, very good. So whenever we want to insert an element in a particular position, say already some elements are there, but in that element you want to establish new, in a particular position you want to establish a new element. So that means, so instead of some other element you want to insert a new element, so that is made possible by using insert method. So insert is used to insert a value before a specified index of the list, array, or list or an array. Then we have index number. I think index I didn't tell yesterday, isn't it, students? Yesterday we discussed only up to insert method. So index method will accept one parameter, which is nothing but the element in an array or a list. So upon providing that, it will return an integer value, which is nothing but the position of that element. Say for example, you have element 20 at third index position. So if you put array name dot index of 20, it will return 3. What is that 3? It is the index position of that element 20. If you want to know the index position of an element, then you can pass the element as a parameter to the index, so that it will return its position. It will return its position, that is index. Now what happens if the element is present more than once in a list or an array? What happens? Then the first occurrence of the element in the list will be considered. Say for example, 20 is present at index number 3 and 6. Now it will return 3. It will not return both 3 and 6. It will return only 3. Why? Because the index, that element is present in third index, and that is the first occurrence. Then students, have you studied JavaScript? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So in that you have studied regular expressions, isn't it? Character classes, what is the meaning of star, plus, and what is the meaning of dot symbol? Have you studied or not? Huh? Hello, I want the reply, students.
Sir, in Unix we studied, sir.
See, compulsorily in Unix you have studied. Then also at the same time compulsorily you have studied in JavaScript also. See, always keep in your mind, regular expression is a very important concept. Okay, even if you become software engineer, then also you'll be using. Even if you become test engineer, there also you'll be using. Why? Because you are supposed to do certain validations. How will you do validations of form elements? When you have a web application or any application for that matter, need not be the web application, even for the desktop application, wherever you have form data, you have to validate it, isn't it? So how do you validate? For that you have to consider the regular expressions. So that is why, see, and the peculiar feature of that regular expression is that, so you have character classes like plus, star, forward slash, backslash, dot, and so on. The meaning of these characters doesn't change across languages. That means, see, the plus means one or more occurrence. You take JavaScript, you take Unix, you take Python, you take Java, everywhere you go, wherever you want. In all the languages, the meaning doesn't change, and the syntax of writing the regular expression doesn't change. Okay, that's why in that sense you have to give utmost importance for regular expressions, because once you learn, you will be using that concept in multiple languages. You need not learn it again and again. Okay, then tomorrow we need one complete session for regular expression. So tomorrow whole session I'll do regular expressions. Students, then also yesterday we have discussed about the list operations. Tell me, which are the list operations?
Concat and repetition.
Yes, concatenation and repetition. So what is the concatenation operator?
Plus.
Plus. What is the repetition operator?
Star.
Huh? Star or the asterisk. Okay, students, then how to do the slicing, students? Say for example, I have an array by name AR. Okay, how to do the slicing? We need to specify the I, j, and k values, where I is called as the initial value or the starting point, and j is called as the destination or the target, and k is called as the stride. So that k indicates how many steps to jump after displaying each value, each character, how many steps to jump. Students, what happens if you do not specify what is the meaning if you do not specify the I value? That is the starting point. What does it mean? Hello, anyone? Arjun? Arjun, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me. So what is the meaning if we exclude I value while doing the slicing? What it implies?
Sir, you didn't share the screen. I'm not getting.
No, I'll not share the screen. I'm asking the question.
Yes, sir.
I'm asking the question. Say you are doing slicing of an array.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The problem statement is you are doing slicing. So you are supposed to specify I, J, and K values.
Yes,
Isn't
sir.
it? So now,
Yes, sir.
what happens if you do not specify the I value? From where it will start?
Sir, next element.
Not next element. By default, it will start from beginning of the array or beginning of the list. I indicates always beginning, and if you do not specify that value, by default, it will start from the beginning.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, what happens if I do not specify J value? That is the end point or the target.
Sir, I starts from beginning, J starts from ending.
No, J, see, it is not J starts from ending. Up to J. That means you are slicing from I to J. That means I is the starting point, J is the end point or the target.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
So-
like I'll take an example, sir. See, I took some list like A, B, C, D, E. Till E I took. So if I mention like, if I take some variable like A is equal to A, B, C, D, E. So if I mention slice of 2 means it will show starting 2 element. Like that's right, sir.
See, we specify only the index values. While slicing, we specify the index value, not the direct value. From where to where? So that means, say for
Yes,
example,
sir. That
from
was like
index.
slice of 2 means it will take A, B. Now,
Yeah.
yeah, sir.
So what is the meaning if I specify K value as 1?
K value as 1.
Hmm.
Sir, it will start from the starting. Like,
So from starting till the end, display
Yes,
all the
sir.
elements. Okay, display all the elements. So what happens if I specify K is equal to 2?
K is equal.
Stride, it indicates how many positions to jump after each
2,
character.
sir.
Yeah,
2,
that
sir.
means it will display only the alternative numbers because it is jumping, since it is making a jump of 2 characters, it will skip 1 character. Say for example, A, B, C, D is there. So it will display A, it will not display B, it will display C. Then it will not display D, it will display E. That means A, C and E will be displayed, B and D are excluded because K is equal to 2. Okay. Now what is the meaning if K is equal to -1?
Sir, it will like from the end, like
Yeah.
-1 always.
Yeah, it will
from
start displaying in reverse order.
the end. Yes, sir.
It will start
sir.
displaying in reverse order. Okay. Correct. Then students, yesterday I also told about some of the properties of list. What are those properties of list?
List is mutable, sir.
Yes, list is mutable. What does it mean?
We can change.
We can change the values. Yes. Then what is the other property? When we use negative indexing, it will start from backwards. Say for example, -1 is the last element, -2 is last but 1th element. That is n-1th element. That is one property. Then when the index error will occur?
Out of.
Yes, when you are trying to access an element which is not at all there in the list, then it will result in an error. We call it as index error. That is list index out of range. It will show the error list index out of range. Then any integer expression can be an index. Any integer expression can be an index. Okay, that is another property. So what is mapping here? What's the meaning of mapping? Students, tell me, what is the definition of mapping? See students, a list can be thought of as a relationship between index and the elements. A list is nothing but the relationship between elements and the indices. So this relationship is often referred to as mapping. Say for example, you have A, B, C, D and E, which are the elements of an index, sorry, which are elements of an list. Then A is representing the index value 0, B is representing the index value 1. So this relationship between the elements and the indices is called as a mapping. That means each element is mapped to one particular index. Okay, in simple words, you can tell each element in a list is mapped to an index, which is called as mapping. And this concept is called as mapping. Then students, anything you want to ask with respect to files, string operations? Students, I hope you are doing revision at least once in a week or once in 10 days at home. Are you practicing the programs? Code snippets? Hello? Students, are you practicing code snippets? Are you able to access the GCR?
Yes, sir.
Can you see what are the small code snippets that I have put? Python programs? Hello? Can you see those things?
So no, sir.
Why? Can you give your group email ID? Hello? I got one group email ID. Which I heard that is a group email ID of your section. So I shared with that email ID. It is showing it is shared with that email ID, but I don't know why you are not able to access it. You can message me what is your section and group mail ID. So otherwise, adding each individual, sharing with each individual student becomes difficult. Students, next question. Tell me 2 instances where we use the in keyword or the in operator.
So when it is decision taking, we need to take.
Okay, tell me one example. What kind of decision you can take with in?
So when we are finding an element, if we specify that it will show true or yes or no.
Okay, that is one instance where you can use in. What is the other application of one more usage of in operator? There are 2 important use cases of in operator. One is, as she told, to check the existence of a particular item or the data element. We use in operator. Say for example, 34 in AR. So what is that AR? AR, let us assume AR is the name of the array. Okay, so that is one example. That means I'm trying to check whether 34 is there in the array by name AR or not. So that is one thing. Similarly, you can apply for list and a string. Okay, say there is a string by name S. Okay, so then I can specify, okay, character A in yes. That means if the character A is present in yes, it will return true, or else it will return false. Okay, that is one use case. That is to check the existence of an element. We use in. Then another use case is for loop. Along with, while implementing the for loop, we use in operator, isn't it? For I in list. For I in list. So there also we use in operator. Okay, then students, tell me how to apply length operator. So the length function. How to apply the length function? List name dot length. It is len. List name dot len. And once again, len is an function which you can apply with any data structure. Say for example, using the len, you can find out the length of a string. You can find out the length of a list. You can find out the length of an array. Similarly, the length of a tuple, dictionary, and so on. In this module 3, three different things we study. So in detail. So one is list. So lists, we are done with the list. So now we know how to create a list, how to create an empty list, how to insert elements, so how to append elements, then how to add multiple elements at once, then how to merge two existing lists, then we know what are the list operations, and also we know what are the supportive inbuilt methods. What are the inbuilt methods supported by list? So in tomorrow's class, we will study tuples and regular expression. So first we will study regular expression. Then if the time permits, we will also see concept of tuples. So tuples basically already we have studied. We know how to create a tuple, how to retrieve the elements of the tuple. So then we will see a few more operations in the coming classes. And finally the dictionary. So basically we know that a dictionary is nothing but a set of key value pairs, and it is based upon the technique which is called as the hashing. Hashing is a concept I think you have studied in data structures. Am I right, students? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me, students, what is hashing? You have studied hashing in data structures. Tell me what is the definition of hashing?
Sir, hiding data.
Hiding data. So based upon what concept?
Sir, like according to me, like MD5 is number one hashing.
Okay, fine.
Sir, hashing the day. Yes, sir.
What is the underlying logic behind hashing?
Sir, basically it converts the original data into some other character. Like the people, they can't find that.
See, that is nothing but any other answers, students? Any other answers? Sunil? Sunil, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me, Sunil. Sunil, tell me what is the idea, what is the logic behind hashing?
Sir, I don't know, sir. I'm not remembering.
Okay, fine. Any other student? See, hashing is a technique which is used to retrieve the elements very much faster. So if you use hashing, it is very much faster than accessing an element from an array or a linked list. So hashing is based upon the technique called as key value pairs. Hashing is based upon the technique called as key value pairs. So in Python, what has happened, instead of calling it as hashing, so just the label is changed. So we are calling it as dictionary. That means dictionary is based upon key value pairs. So that means every value will be having a key. So using the key, you can access the value. Okay, there's a logic behind hashing. So that hashing is implemented in Python as a dictionary data structure. So dictionary is basically a data structure in Python, which is based upon the technique called hashing. In turn, that hashing relies on key value pairs, where if you want to retrieve the value, you should know the key. What is its key? Say for example, so 1 means, okay, there can be 1 means Akhil, 2 means Arjun, 3 means Ambarish, like that. So if I refer that name of the dictionary and if I use that key value as the index, see here the key value is considered as the index, so that we can retrieve the appropriate value. If you know what is the key, then we can retrieve the value. Now instead, let us assume just simply if you want to display all the values, all the values of the dictionary. So then just if you specify within the print statement the name of the dictionary, it will display all the values at once by excluding the keys. It will not display the keys, it will display only the values. Okay, so then when you need to know the key value, so that means if you are interested in a specific item within the dictionary, then you are expected to know what is its key value, what is its key. So unless you know the key, it is not possible to display the particular element. Simply you may have to display all the elements just by specifying its name. So that means we should know that whenever we deal with hashing or dictionaries, so if you are interested in particular element, so we should know its key. So once we know the key, it becomes easier for us to retrieve that value. If we specify that key as the index, that key acts as an index while displaying, so that it will retrieve the element. One minute, students, I'll take the attendance. Answer for the attendance. Tuesday. Students, answer. USN 1.
Present, sir.
2.
Present, sir.
3.
Present, sir.
4.
Yes, sir.
5.
Present, sir.
6.
Yes, sir.
7.
Present, sir.
8.
Present, sir.
9.
Present, sir.
10.
Present, sir.
11.
Present, sir.
12.
Present, sir.
13. 13. Deba Malia. 14.
Present, sir.
15. 16.
Present, sir.
17.
Present, sir.
18.
Present, sir.
19.
Present, sir.
20.
Present, sir.
21.
Present, sir.
22.
Present, sir.
23.
Present, sir.
24. Kishore.
Sir, yes, sir.
25.
Yes, sir.
26,
Present, sir.
27,
Yes, sir.
28,
Present, sir.
29, 30.
Present, sir.
Nishant,
Sir,
when I
20
call you,
sir,
see,
28
I'll put
present.
absent. I'll put absent for you. Nilanjan also. Huh? What you are doing?
Sir,
Huh?
network
See,
problem. That's
what
why.
network problem, idiot? Just come just coming at the time of attendance and telling the attendance and doing your normal work, day-to-day work. How many times I called you in the middle? Why you did not respond? I called you in multiple occasions, not once. But now you are there at attendance time. See, anyone, if you do not reply when I call you in the during the class time, at the end, and if you are answering the attendance, I will not give that attendance. Nilanjan, this is the last warning for you. Nishant also. Now TD series, USN 2,
Present, sir.
3,
Present, sir.
4,
Present, sir.
5, 1, 6,
6 present, sir.
7,
Present, sir.
8,
Present, sir.
9,
Present, sir.
10,
Present, sir.
11,
Yes, sir.
12,
Present, sir.
13,
Present, sir.
14, Savita,
Present, sir.
16,
Present, sir.
17,
Yes, sir.
18,
Present, sir.
19,
Present, sir.
20,
Present, sir.
21,
Present, sir.
22,
Present, sir.
23. Okay, that's it. Students, now at 9:30, Sudarshanam sir will take second hour class.
Sir, lab instructions for tomorrow.
For tomorrow, yeah. Better I'll message.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, once it's better, I'll also discuss within the department and I'll message you. Then be ready. So you should be able to explain the flow of the program.
Okay, sir.
Okay, then one test will be there. See, test will be like, see if you give too much time, you'll copy, isn't it? So it will be like 10 minutes test like that, Viva. To conduct Viva, it is not possible to conduct Viva for 50 students at once. So I'll give only 10 minutes and 10 questions. If you do not answer in 10 minutes, you are gone. Don't say I'm not able to upload and all those things. If you say I'm not going to, sir, I'm not able to upload, so I'll take oral Viva, it will be even difficult, even more difficult. Listening. If you say, sir, internet is slow, so now I want to take the Viva. Okay, yes, you can take the Viva, no problem. It will be even more difficult because you don't get the breathing time also. One question after the another question. 10 questions I will ask. If you do not take that test properly and if you do not upload within time. If you are uploading after 10 minutes, you are gone. I will not consider that Viva. You have to take physical Viva. That means, sorry, oral Viva. I'll ask orally the questions, you have to answer them. Okay, so that's why you see that you are able to answer within 10 minutes. Say, for example, you know only 7 questions. That is fine. You answer for those 7 questions. Instead of that, if you make it late, then upon your request, I will be conducting oral Viva. If you do not request, that also will not be conducted. So you lose Viva marks. So that's why you see that your internet will be up and running tomorrow. So and you have sufficient data available. You have sufficient data available so that you can take up the test efficiently. Okay, students, you learn So
Sir, programs are 1 to 5 and 7 and 9.
yeah, 1 to 5. Then program numbers.
7 and 9.
So 1 minute, I'll open the manual and I'll tell properly.
Yes, sir.
So wait to have confusions. 1 minute. Python lab manual. Students, it is program number 1 to 5. Then program number 8, 9 and 10. 1 to 5, 8, 9 and 10. Students, program 1 to 5, 8, 9 and 10. That means except 6 and 7, excluding 6 and 7, all programs are there from 1 to 10. Got it? Any clarification? Program 1 to 10, excluding program number 6 and 7. Okay, that's the syllabus for tomorrow. All simple programs are there, very small programs. So say for example, if I call Sunil, so Sunil should explain the program of my choice. I'll say program number 9, program number 10, like that. So you have to open the source code and you have to explain how it is working. Okay, like that it will be. So I'll give only 2 minutes for each student to explain the source code. 2 minutes. If it is lengthy, 3 minutes. Okay, or if I want to ask you to write the code snippet, so there only you have to enable your screen. You have to share your screen and you have to type. Okay, like that it will be. I will not ask the entire program. I'll ask only the code snippet. I'll ask the code snippet. Okay, so tomorrow you be prepared. So I'll ask either the code snippet or to explain the flow of the program. Thank you.
Sir, we didn't got code snippets, sir.
Code snippet means what, man? Say for example, so code snippet means say bubble sort. Let us assume for example. So what is the logic for bubble sort? You write only that code. Don't write entire program. You write that function part. Linear search. You write only that function part. Don't write the entire program.
Yes, sir.
Like that. That is called as the code snippet. Portion of the program is called as the code snippet. The meaning of code snippet is some portion of the entire program. That is called code snippet. Thank you, students. You can join Sudarshanam sir class. Thank you.